Hi, my name is Tom Guerra. I'm taking the HMD 259 class, and for my training project, I am doing greeting and seating customers. So, for the purpose of this exercise, I'm gonna create a hypothetical scenario. For this scenario, we're gonna use Horton's Steakhouse, and you would be either the host or the hostess, and your job is to greet customers, take their reservations, and seat them. So you are primarily a reservation restaurant. So if your restaurant is booked and people just walk in the door, you usually turn them away. But if people do have reservations and they walk in the door, the first thing you want to do is make eye contact. Once you have made eye contact, you want to greet them while you're smiling with a positive attitude and energy. You want to say, "Hi, welcome to Morton's. Can I get your reservation, please?" And so for the scenario, let's say it's the Smith family. So Mr. Smith would be like, "Oh, we're under the Smith. There's 5 of us. It's like a family occasion." So you would say, "Okay, thank you, Mr. Smith." You would go into your software or your notepad or whatever you have and then confirm their reservation. Make sure there's 5 guests and there's 5 of them. And what you want to do is make sure you first check the reservation, confirm it, and then make sure that the table that you have reserved for them is fitting for your demographic. So now your demographic is a family. So you wouldn't want to put your family near the bar where people are getting drunk and are loud. You want to kind of put them off to the side, preferably a round table where everyone can see each other and talk, or a booth that can accommodate all of them. So that's important, really matching the ambiance to the demographic. And so you always want to make sure you do that, and then make sure there's no special, or if there are any special needs, you accommodate them, whether it be an elderly person or a baby or a toddler that needs a high chair. And also along that lines, like if you get a couple, you want to give them a booth, maybe tucked away, maybe just give them like a romantic environment. And then once you have confirmed the table and the reservation, you want to lead the guests. So you want to, say, "Hey, Mr. Smith, you want to follow me or the Smith family?" Try to use their name as much as possible and build a connection. As you are leading them to their table, you want to turn around, make eye contact when possible. Try not to run into anything. Maybe maintain conversation. Ask how was the drive over and is it a special occasion? And then if they do say something, "Oh, it's a birthday or it's a graduation," you can like let your server know, let the cooks know, "Hey, this is a special event. We want to make sure they have a good time." Or if you could bring out like a cake or ice cream or something along those lines to make their stay even better. And then when you get to the table that they're going to sit at, you want to, help them sit down. So if it's first you want to get Mrs. Smith in a chair, preferably with like the best view, so you would help her sit in. But here you go, Mrs. Smith. And then help the father. And then, if there's a kid, you want to help them into the high chair. If it's an elderly person, help them get into their chair and make sure that they're accommodated. Another big thing is like, I know in America that smoking and non-smoking is pretty much already given or designated. We want to make sure that they're in a non-smoking area or ask them if they want a smoking area. And then also you want to make sure that your server is coming or they know that your guests are here. So after everyone is seated, and if they ask about specials, you can maybe bring up the daily special or however your restaurant runs. You want to introduce your server to the family if possible. So you want to be like, "Oh, hey, the Smith family, this is Michael. He's our server. He's going to be taking care of you tonight." And then, if you can make that connection for them, that's like a really nice segue into it. Or if your server is busy, just be like, "Hey, our server, whoever it's going to be, Michael, Chris, or whoever." And then you would say, "Is busy right now. They'll be over very shortly. They will take great care of you. If you need anything, just let them know." And then you would go back to your booth. Essentially, your job is done. And you would greet the next customer the same way. But some of the big things just to go over is make eye contact when people first walk in, smile, have a warm, welcoming energy, and warm, welcoming spiel. We want to check the reservations, make sure the reservation matches the number of guests that have shown up. You want to make sure your ambiance matches the demographic. whether it be a couple, a group of friends, a family, a single person, or whatever it be. And then you will lead them to the table, not point and tell them to go over there or do it. You want to lead them to the table, help them get settled in, and then let them know that either the server is coming, how long it would take, or if you can, introduce the server to the family and help them establish that connection right away so that they're comfortable. And yeah, so make sure you use Mr. or Mrs. and have the appropriate title, sir, ma'am, no slang. You want to be professional and well spoken as much as possible. And yeah, that's about it. This is my training project. It's greeting and seating customers. I hope that we all can learn a lot from this, and thank you.